Hello Havenwoods family and friends, this is Brother Ricky and I'm excited to get to share with you today via this video just some upcoming announcements and plans that we have for the upcoming weeks in our church family. And the first thing that I want to mention to you is on Wednesday night of this week at 6:30 we're going to be continuing our weekly Bible study called Juicy Fruit. And it's a study talking about the fruit of the Spirit. And this week we're going to be talking about the fruit of patience. And I don't know of anybody who doesn't need more patience. But the reality is that many times we are tested and we're challenged in our patience. And we're not real sure about how to grow in patience. Remember, these are all fruit of the Spirit, and so it's not something you're just going to wake up one day and have. God has to grow it in our heart and life. And so tomorrow night, Wednesday night at 6:30, I hope you'll join us for that midweek Bible study. The second thing that I want to share with you is our plans about reopening our buildings here to be able to worship again on Sunday. I've been hearing a lot of the plans of different churches around, and our leadership of our church has been talking about it, praying about it, and we met last night with our deacons and made the decision that we will be planning to reopen our buildings for Sunday worship on Sunday, June the 7th. And that will give us time to make sure that we're up to all of the guidelines that are being set forth for us to make sure our buildings are all clean and sanitized and ready for you on Sunday, June the 7th. Your health, your protection is a major priority for us. And so we want to make sure that we have all of that laid out and ready to go. And we are approaching our reopening is a grand reopening of Havenwoods Baptist. That this is going to be one of the great days in the history of our church as we come back together. So please circle that on your calendar. Invite your family and friends to plan on joining us that day. In the next couple of weeks, we'll be giving you more details about where, when, and how those services are going to be happening, especially as we hear more from the governor and plans about how we're going to adjust to this ongoing pandemic that we're dealing with. So Sunday, June the 7th, we will plan on meeting here in our buildings that day. So please prayerfully, just look forward to that day and all that God's going to do. And I would say to you that, we may look back and say, well, we just missed so bad us being able to be together. But I want to remind you, God has been doing great things, great ministry during these days that we've not been able to meet together. And again, it just reminds us all that the church is not the buildings, it's the people who love one another and care for one another. And so you just make plans to be here on Sunday, June the 7th. Then secondly, I want you to know that we are making our fellowship hall available. If your Sunday school class, your small group would like to meet between now and June the 7th, you can feel free to come up and use our fellowship hall. But if you want to use that, we need you to either call me or call our church office and schedule that, so we make sure that we don't have multiple groups that are going to plan on being here at one time. Also, if you're going to use the fellowship hall, we're going to ask you to clean and sanitize it before you use the building, and then when you go to leave, to make sure that it's clean and sanitized when you leave. We'll also continue to observe social distancing in that room, and so if you're going to have a group that meets in there, you need to make sure that you are providing space for that group to be able to observe the social distancing rules, okay? Also, we are going to continue to be videotaping all of our services between now and June the 7th. And I would say to you this as well. If June the 7th comes and you're not feeling well or you're not comfortable even by then to come to our buildings, we are going to continue from now till Jesus comes to videotape our services. And so those will still be available to you. So I don't want you feeling like, well, if I'm going to, get to worship, if I'm going to get to hear the preaching, I've got to be able to go to the building. We're going to provide alternatives for that all along the way. But between now and June the 7th, I want to encourage you, please continue to watch our videos, continue to share those with your family and friends, and stay in contact with your church family. If there's anything going on in your life, please let me know. You can call me, you can message me on social media, you can email me at rickywatt@gmail.com. We want to know what's going on in your life, and if you have a need or if your family or friends have needs, we want to know how to pray for them and serve them during these days. So it's exciting to me to be able to share with you. We do have a plan in place. We do have a date set, and we're going to be working towards that. And we may be calling on some of you to help us get prepared and ready for that day. So we'll be in contact with you about how you can help us be prepared and ready for June the 7th. But from now until then, I just want to encourage you to keep your eyes on the Lord. Stay faithful in studying the Word and in prayer. And let's just worship God, serve God, be faithful to the Lord during these days. And I believe God has incredible days ahead for all of us, and especially for Haven Woods. I'm so excited about what's ahead for us. So I look forward to seeing you again real soon. God bless.